again on to part 2 of making this flower stand. So trying to get a little bit in today. It's going to be another blazing, scorching hot 103, 104 degree day, but I'm going to try to work in shade and keep pressing because we're supposed to move into a nice cooling off period here for the next 5, 6, 7 days where it's going to be a lot of rain, and it'd be nice to kind of get this thing somewhat built. Today it's going to be largely, I'm going to take some of this extra cedar that I've ripped and I'm going to provide bracing pieces and attach them and try to show off more of that cedar wood because it's got such a nice just profile to it that gives it that really natural wood feel. So I'm just going to capture as I'm doing work here. Going to get the table saw out and do some additional cuts to create those kind of bracing, cross brace pieces, and we'll go from there. So let's get it going. So I'm going to add some of this spare cedar to kind of shore up the foundation a bit, and I'm trying to think of how to mount it because the wood can be pretty thick and it's hard to drill through. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut out a, like a square block on one end so it creates a thinner profile over here. All right, so I marked it where I'm going to cut off about 3/4 of an inch to just kind of recess it and create a nice little L, and use the table saw to do that. So we'll see how this goes. I think I realized that I do own a star blade for the table saw, which is much thicker. Sorry, not on the camera. It's much thicker cut to help with this kind of thing at a lot faster pace. So I'm going to get that put in for these other 2 pieces. Stuff's falling out. I was going to try to show this off, but this is a like a ripper blade or a star blade, I think I've heard it called. This is I think you can get it pretty thick using spacers. You kind of want a nice cross pattern, and then you put 2 of these blades on the exterior edge, and it makes a nice rip. Put 2 of these on either side, and you sandwich that chipper in between. So should be pretty cool. I just realized though I had left the blade here and I can't get over that. So that was a fun experience. Okay, much better this time. It's way faster to do that kind of cut. Okay, so I got 3 pieces. That was about as much scrap as I had. I might try to make one in the back, but I'm trying to use these pieces so that we can accentuate the really nice look on it. So on the front, it's gonna go down here and be secured, and it'll give a nice, almost a, what do they call it, a dovetail look, or a, I forgot the name of the joints in woodworking because I'm not really a woodworker, but I'd like to be. And we'll put one there and then one on the side. So I'm going to secure those. And since I'm now in a sawmill, I need to probably take the camera inside and clean it up from all the dust on it. down a foot. Alright, I already cut these last night to start building the roof. Just gonna put them in between here with enough height to drill in and try to make that pretty simple. So I built it, stabilized it. Here's the roof. Just created a frame. Nothing too fancy, but I did end up putting a lot more than I think necessary for a small little lean-to roof like this, but I'd rather it not sag or look ugly in a couple years. Pretty robust here. Okay, it's now getting to the worst part of the day to do any work. Full long sleeve shirt. My lovely, very attractive sun hat on, and I'm gonna try to cut the roofing here. We're gonna cut it, and I learned that you can do it by basically putting the blade in backwards, so that basically normally the blade kind of is curved into the wood, so this would flip it over and it spins it kind of with the back edge, which makes a lot of sense on metal. You want a much smoother cut. So I'm going to put this blade in backwards and cut some pieces here. I believe this is an 8-foot section, but it's only about 42 inches. Okay, so I measured the gap from the guide edge to the blade. Well, that'll be nice on the audio. That is dead on 4 feet. I might actually get some some earphones in, because this is loud. So maybe we'll turn off the mic for this sequence. That produced a nice, very clean cut here that I can easily mount. I'll put this slightly rougher edge on the back, but that worked really well, and it was incredibly loud. I should have worn ear protection, but if I had to do more cuts, I would have definitely done that. But as a military guy, my hearing's already kind of shot in some ways. So pretty straightforward. These self-sealing fasteners that come with, corrugated metal roofing. So I don't need to put too many in. Okay, put 3 down, 3 down in the middle, 3 down there, and top and bottom here. I did have that cross brace that maybe I should put it in, but I'm going to see how this goes for now, because obviously every hole you put in compromises any sort of rain capabilities. I'm sorry for this intense sun glare. Hard to film right now in the middle of the day. Before I do the side, I think I'm going to do a rough sand on this palette to make it a little bit nicer. I don't want to be perfectionist because the labor's starting to add up here, but it'll be a little hard to paint, I think, if I don't do some sanding.
So that made it way better on that surface, way more professional, and it didn't even take that long to do it thanks to power tools. As you can see, why I'm not buying power tools is because I've got a lot of them already. I just have a lot of things that you can buy in this operation. So we do want it to have wind protection on 3 sides because it is very windy here, and the last thing we want is wind ripping around flowers while they're sitting up here. So let's get that going. Sometimes you just gotta press. It's another 103-degree day, and hopefully I protected from the sun, but we did it. And here we go. As you just saw, movable with pallet forks, and it only kind of, you know, flexed a little bit. I don't plan to move it too much, but it's going to sit up during flower season, and then we'll just kind of move it back, and the kids can use it as a fort or fun lemonade stand or something like that. But I obviously didn't film a lot of that interstitial work. It just was, even though yesterday was about 2 hours of ripping 10-foot logs, today was just so many little things. It was so hard to figure out which tasks to film and which tasks to not. So I'll just give you a tour here at the end so you can see, you know, exactly what I did to kind of stitch it all together and add some flair. So this is the inside. I sanded off the top of the pallet, and I added just a lot of trim pieces of excess cedar up in the eaves here and just along the back. I added this piece down here just simply to provide a little extra, you know, sidewall. This is pretty thin wood, but it's all right to just block the wind. I might add some more, and I also think that I'm probably gonna, you know, get some sort of, oh, come on camera, you're being super tough here. I think I might add some extra, you know, either cedar or just something up here to improve that look and kind of blend it in, but I ran out of wood, so that's where we are with that. Where I've taken all the excess cedar to brace it up and keep with the aesthetic so that it features a lot of the nice profile of cedar wood. Kind of walk around here. It almost looks just like a chicken coop, right? All right, so I started at 9:30 today. It's 4:30 now, so that's about a full work day. Utterly exhausted and beat working in this much heat. So I'm still sweating as I'm trying to film here. I'm getting it in my eyes. I'd like to go rinse off, take a nice cold shower, but the project is outside of painting and some additional trim work here and there. It's ready to go, ready to sell flowers in it. So this is Eric from Coram Deo Farm. It's been one heck of a couple of days to build this thing in the absolute worst heat of the summer. So thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Take care.